皆様、こんばんは。本日はご参加をいただきありがとうございます。皆様ですね、本日開催している、セミナーに関しては、ランカスター大学言語学についてのウェビナーを、開催させていただきます。ただいまですね、画面に、資料の方も共有をしておりますが、本日はランカスター大学から、教授の方、またですね、在籍生の方もお越しいただきまして、いろいろ体験談等もお話しいただくようなセミナーとなっております。開始後ですね、こちら皆様ですね、カメラの方はオフで、音声はミュートでご参加いただければと思います。ウェビナーの構成に関してですが、まず最初にですね、大学コースに、関するプレゼンテーションを、していただきまして、その後に、卒業生の、在学生のですね、体験談をお話しいただくような構成となっています。一応最後にですね、Q&A のお時間も設けておりますので、よろしければですね、皆様積極的に質問をしていただければと思います。So, thank you very much for joining today. We just finished the introduction. So, if you're ready, could you please start the presentation?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. A very warm virtual welcome to all of you to the Department of Linguistics and English Language at Lancaster University. My name is Oksana Fitska, and I am Director of Master's Programs at our university, at our department, and I'm also a Senior Lecturer in teaching English to speakers of other languages. Today, here with me, we have Professor Jonathan Culpepper, who is the head of our department, and a couple of our students and my colleague, who I will introduce in a minute. So in this webinar, you will learn a little bit more about our university and about our department. You will meet Jonathan, our head of the department, in person, and Jonathan will tell you a little bit more about the department and about our facilities. You will also learn about our programs, about our research centers, and about support that is available to master's students. You will hear from our current students about their experiences of studying with us. You will also learn how to apply for a place with us, and you will have an opportunity to ask questions at the end of this presentation. So over to you, Jonathan.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm going to start by saying a few words about the university. And the obvious question is, where are we? As you can see from the map, we're on a sort of north-south dimension. We're roughly in the middle of the UK, very close to Manchester, for example, which has an international airport, 2.5 hours away by train from London. So that's our general situation, as you can see, and close to quite a few major cities. In terms of the university, you can see from the photo there what it looks like, very much in the green natural landscape. At the top of the photo, the houses there, that's Lancaster city centre. And then right at the very top, in the sort of middle of the clouds, there are some hills and mountains there. And that is the Lake District, a famous area of natural beauty. The university, I'll say a few words about that, founded in 1964, covers all the usual stuff, bachelor's, master's, PhDs. It's a sort of medium-small university, but typically one that punches above its weight. It's high on the league tables, etc., etc. It's got 16,500 students on this campus. I should add that it's not just the Lancaster campus. We have campuses in China, Malaysia, Germany, West Africa, and we're going to have one in Indonesia as well. So on this campus, which is the main one as far as you're concerned, about 16,500 students from a range of countries, etc., etc. One thing I should say about the campus is it's a very safe place to study. It's got 9 colleges. It's the way it's divided up. The colleges, as you can see them from the map, scattered throughout the university. This is a bit like Harry Potter, you might think. All the colleges have their own identity in a particular way, and they arrange social activities. They look after you. etc., etc. Other things to note around the campus: there's a woodland walk. There's a so-called eco hub where you can grow things if you want to. There's a massive sports center. This is at the bottom. It's quite new, actually, and I've just extended it. So lots of things to do. If we look more closely at the campus, you can see, get an impression of it from those photos. You may wonder why there's a picture of little ducks, little ducklings there, because for some reason the campus has these little ducks that walk across it, and they've become symbolic of the campus in many ways. But it's got loads of facilities. If you wanted to, you could spend your entire time at Lancaster University just on campus and never go anywhere else. I wouldn't recommend that because there's lots of other things to see. But at the campus, you've got, as I say, the sports center, there's a theatre, a cinema, an arts gallery, health center, dentist, pharmacy, post office, banks, supermarket, restaurants, etc., etc. So you have all that you need. In terms of accommodation, the accommodation has won lots of prizes, and you know, it depends on what you want. If you want to have accommodation that doesn't have a kitchen, that's fine. You just have a room and you can eat in the restaurants, etc., etc. If you want accommodation which has a kitchen associated with, so you can cook, you can have that accommodation. It's up to you. I would say one general thing about accommodation at Lancaster is that compared with other parts of the UK, it's relatively cheap. It's safe and it's cheap. Those are the features, I would say, of the campus accommodation. Now onto our department and its research and teaching. Here are the academic members of staff, 37 currently, but it's going to slightly increase. I think the notable thing regarding student numbers is actually the number of PhD students, which is huge. Not just in the UK, it's the highest number of PhD students for any linguistics department. MA students is pretty big as well, 120. It makes for a large, vibrant, active postgraduate community. In terms of what we're known for, we're typically known for empirical research and applied. We apply linguistic knowledge and frameworks to real-world problems. That's really what we're noted for, whether it's something to do with health communication or thinking about how to operate effectively in a business community in terms of communication. That's the sort of thing that we do. In terms of quality, we were second in the UK's research assessment exercise in 2021. Typically, in terms of the league tables, you can see those at the bottom. We're in the UK usually second, sometimes third, second, third. And the most recent ranking is bottom right, third. And this is the QS World subject rankings. We're above Oxford on this one. Just above us, we've got Cambridge, and then there's MIT. So we're high in the league tables, basically. Okay. In terms of what is in the department, I'll just say something about the photos first. We have lots of labs, stuff full of equipment. The phonetics lab at the top there has lots of equipment in for helping us see how people are articulating sounds. For example, one of the machines they use is an ultrasound machine, somewhat similar to the ones you use for pregnancy, but they put it underneath your chin and you can see what the tongue is doing and how you're articulating things. It's actually on the screen in the photo at the top there. Then there's the EEG lab, and you can see in the photo in the middle there's someone has a cap on, and this is detecting brain activity, useful for understanding what's going on in your head as you're speaking or reading, etc., etc. The bottom one is the eye tracking lab, and that has machines that track where your eye is actually looking when you read. People don't read in a constant one line and then the next line, and they bounce backwards and forwards, and that's actually very interesting. The list in the middle of the page there, starting with the Literacy Research Centre and all the other ones, these are just, it's not quite all, these are the main research groups that you could join. So you can do your modules and courses and so forth, but you can also join these research groups. Whatever you're interested in, there's going to be a research group, whether it's language learning, testing, phonetics, corpus linguistics, there'll be a research group suitable for you. In terms of quality of teaching, we've won lots of prizes for teaching, and individuals in the department have won national prizes for teaching. And one feature of the department is we tend to write the textbooks that we actually teach. Two of the latest ones are shown on the left. Introducing Linguistics is a huge linguistics textbook, and then Researching Discourse is a methodological book. In terms of, so that's teaching. In terms of the flavor of our research, as I said, we like to engage real issues in the world. And here's just some examples of how we do that. One of my colleagues studies dyslexia, and particularly as far as learning a language, a second language or a foreign language. And she's the world expert on that. I have another colleague who's interested in health communication. When we talk to the doctor, you do it in language. How do you do that? How do you tell the doctor about things? And she's been looking at metaphor and cancer. When people talk about cancer, they often use metaphors. They describe it as a battle that they're engaging, or a journey they're working their way through as they talk about the disease. And then the other box there, and these are just examples, there are lots more potentially to give. We actually have, this is just an illustration of how we engage the real world. We have a business in the Department of Forensic Linguistics business. Forensic linguistics, and you'll hear a bit more about that later, is broadly speaking the application of linguistic frameworks to solving crime, legal issues, and so forth. So to take an example, if someone wants to discover in a prosecution case and it's going through the courts whether one recording is spoken by the same person as another recording, that's the sort of thing the forensic linguistics people would work on. So we have this based in our department.
Okay,
over to you.
So thank you, Jonathan. Okay, let me tell you now a little bit more about our programs. So we have got on-campus programs and by distance learning programs, but today I'm going to focus on-campus programs, which mean that you would need to travel to Lancaster and stay with us in Lancaster for the duration of these programs. So at the moment, we offer 5 programs, and they're called Masters in Intercultural Communication, Masters in Language and Linguistics, Masters in Applied Linguistics and TESOL. TESOL stands for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Masters in Discourse Studies, and our new program is Masters of Science in Forensic Linguistics and Speech Science. All these programs are offered full-time over a period of 1 year, or part-time or over a period of 2 years. So here is the structure of how the program would run if you were to come to us and study with us full-time for a year. So Lancaster currently operates in 3 terms. So we have 2 teaching terms, which is term 1 and term 2. Term 1 starts in October and runs through to December, almost end of December. Term 2, January to March, and then term 3, April to June. In the first 2 terms, you will be studying modules with us. We will be teaching you, and you will be attending lectures and seminars and writing assignments, submitting them at the end of each term. In term 3, you will be working on your dissertation. So dissertation is an independent research project, which is completed by you, but supervised and supported by a member of academic staff who works roughly in the same area as your proposed research project. So we start supporting our students with their dissertations, with choosing topics, deciding on research questions. Early on, pretty much the support begins at the beginning of term 2, when you would need to submit a proposal for your research project. And after that, a supervisor will be allocated to you. And then when you submit your coursework at the end of term 2, you will start properly working on your dissertation, and there will be various types of support like dissertation supervision, dissertation workshops, and writing retreat sessions to help you do well and feel supported through the process of working on your dissertation. Before you come to us, we have a welcome week, which is at the end of September, so a week before teaching starts, which gives you an opportunity to settle into the university, to learn about the campus, to get your timetable, to meet new people, to learn about your department, as I said. So this is the structure of how our year is running will be running for your master's program. So I'm going to give floor to my colleague now, who is going to teach on our new Masters of Science in Forensic Linguistics. So over to you, George, and she will tell you more about this program.
Thank you. Hello, I'm George Brown and I'm a lecturer in the department. And yes, I'm here to talk about our brand new MSc in Forensic Linguistics and Speech Science, which will start for the first time this October. As Jonathan's already touched on, forensic linguistics and forensic speech science, which we're putting under one umbrella. These are fields to do with analysing language in a way that can assist legal cases or intelligence security investigations. Usually it's about analysing some text or a speech recording with a view to trying to determine who it is who wrote that text or spoke in that speech sample. But we deal with lots of other ideas and questions that surround the sort of legal and intelligence investigative sort of area. Now, just to give you a taste of the sorts of things we're thinking about in this space, we're very interested in how AI is coming into it, and we are very much trying to thread artificial intelligence through our teaching and research in this space at the moment. So on the forensic linguistics side of things, where we're analysing text, it's becoming more of a question for us working within the field of is it actually a human who wrote that text, or was it actually artificial intelligence? So have a look at these two reviews for yourselves. So this is online reviews, and one was written by a real human and one was written by artificial intelligence. Can you look at those for yourselves and see which is which? So for the purposes of time, and I don't think there's a chat function, but if we can reveal which was which, and you might be able to, I've just come out of a talk on this topic. We're very much looking at the features that might tell us which one is which. So well done if you felt that the red box review was written by a human and the right one was actually written by artificial intelligence. I've just come out of a talk where we were talking about the idea that you know, there are some creases in the text that an artificial intelligence system will produce, and the idea that if we ask it to write very informally, it tends to do it in a very extreme way rather than in quite a natural sort of average level of formality. And you might spot some odd phrasings of things as well. But in the interest of it's showing you the other side of this in forensic linguistics and speech science, and thinking about how artificial intelligence is impacting on our analysis of language data. Next slide, please, Oksana. We're also interested in how it's impacting on speech. So in forensic speech science, we are very much interested in how we can analyze the speech signal with a view to identifying individuals. So sometimes we take that to the extremes and do exercises where we think about really extreme contexts, like here, where we have two twins, and hopefully if forensic speech science is working well, we can tell the difference between individuals, but you will probably expect that twins is a very hard task to carry out in forensic speech science, which it is. So just to put this to the test, if we can sort of prime you with the reference samples of these two young twins. So here's a sample of Lizzie.
All elephants will go here, right next to my arms.
And a reference sample of Charlotte.
Isn't it good that we've matched them all nearly close? Isn't that good?
And we've got two samples here, A and B, and one of them is Lizzie and one of them is Charlotte. So just test yourself to see if you can tell which is which. So here's sample A.
I went to the up and I got a mermaid and a lamb.
And sample B.
I went to the toy shop and I got a piggy, a princess named Jasmine, and a monkey.
So, I mean, it's very understandable if you found that incredibly hard. In forensic speech, a forensic speech scientist, if this case were to come onto our desk, would probably say, no, that's too hard to do. We would refuse it. But nevertheless, we have answers in this small exercise. So, Oksana, can you reveal those? So well done if you guessed that Charlotte was in fact A and Lizzie was B, but this hopefully demonstrates the sorts of questions we're interested in. But twins of small children that's a very, very difficult task for us to be doing as forensic speech scientists. But back to the artificial intelligence side of things, we've now got artificial intelligence adding to our problems, and we are interested in seeing, okay, we've got a speech sample, we're being asked who it is speaking in that speech sample, but we now need to consider whether it's actually artificial intelligence creating that speech sample. So we've got a couple of speech samples here, and would like you to tell us if you think this is artificial intelligence or a genuine human speaker.
Well, there can be no complaints about this one.
And there's a second one.
Ferguson emphasizes the importance of being able to switch off when it comes to her personal life.
And if we can reveal the answers, Oksana, thank you. So the first one was a genuine human speech sample, and the second one was created by AI. But I've done some research on these specific samples, and there's actually very little pulling them apart in this context. So hopefully that's given you a taste of the sorts of things that we are currently thinking about in forensic linguistics and speech science. And we've got a thread of artificial intelligence running through it.
Thank you very much, George. So let me now tell you about other master programs that we offer within the department. So I'll start with the Masters in Applied Linguistics and TESOL program. So this program is designed to advance your knowledge about theoretical aspects of linguistics and its practical applications, and it will also allow you to learn more about language learning and language teaching. This program has got 5 core modules and several optional modules, and at the end of the program you would need to write around 12,500 1,000 words dissertation, and the dissertation aspect applies to all programs. So let me show you now an example of the things that we are teaching on this program. So one of the things that we do is we look at language teaching methodology and theories that inform what we teach and how we teach methodologically. So I would like you to read this text on the slide now. Okay, so I hope you succeeded in this exercise, and it says that when we read the text or the words, we don't really read every letter in the word, but we rather read the first and the last letter, and then we understand the meaning of the word. So the way that this is done and the way that we do it this way is because we predict and construct meaning of the upcoming text by fitting the word's meaning into its general visual shape. So you look at the shape of the word, you look at the first letter and last letter, and you predict what the meaning of this word is going to be based on the text and the information that you've already comprehended from the text. So in a similar way, people understand meaning in the character-based languages. So in Chinese or Japanese languages, you don't really read the entire, you read the entire character rather than each individual stroke in the characters. So we also construct meaning of the upcoming text by drawing on different types of knowledge. So specifically, we have got two types of knowledge, systemic knowledge and schematic knowledge. So systemic knowledge is the knowledge about the language. So knowledge of the letters, the sounds, syllables, words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. So of course, if you don't know the language or the language alphabet, you're not going to be able to read the text. So this is a basic sort of unit in being able to read and understand the meaning. So then we have got a series of types of knowledge that we call schematic knowledge. And schematic knowledge, to schematic knowledge belong such things as sociocultural knowledge, genre knowledge, topic knowledge, and general world knowledge. So I would like you to read quickly this text. Okay, so you might have noticed that there was a mistake in the text, and you might even, you might not have noticed it. So actually there was a misspelling of the word. So what it said, until his galloping horse was exhausted, but in fact the word horse was misspelled as house. When you were reading this text, if you didn't notice the mistake, that means that you are a good reader. That means that you drew on your general world knowledge really well to construct the meaning of the upcoming word. So despite your brain saw the word house, despite your eyes saw the word house, your brain sort of outran that, and it said it should be horse, and so you read the horse. Okay, so what implications for teaching practice do we take from this? So when we teach our students to read in either second language or a first language, it is really important to supply them with various linguistic, visual, and contextual clues prior to and during the reading process to support them engaging with various types of knowledge to help them understand and comprehend text better. So our second type of master's program is Masters in Language and Linguistics. This program develops specialist interest, allows you to develop a specialist interest in a particular area of language or linguistics, or it allows you to combine different areas of study in language and linguistics. This module has got only two, this program has got only two core modules and a very wide range of optional modules, because we want to give you choice and freedom of constructing this program, drawing on your areas of interest, so that you can, as I say, develop a specialist interest in one area or learn a little bit of everything from various areas of linguistics. So here is an example of the range of optional modules that we offer on this program. And as you can see, the range is really wide. So what you can do is, here we have clustered some of these modules into specific sort of subfields or areas of linguistics linguistics. So let's say you said, I would like to do masters in language and linguistics that focuses on language and cognition. And then you would take modules from the list of language and cognition modules, such as cognitive linguistics, second language acquisition, or experimental approaches to language and cognition. But you may say, I actually like a little bit of everything in my master's program. So if you want to do that, you can then choose and pick different modules from different clusters to construct your own master's in language and linguistics. So now my colleague Jonathan is going to give you an example of mini lecture of one of the modules on corpus linguistics. So over to you, Jonathan.
So as you can see, we have a course, a module on corpus linguistics, and that is often taught by Paul Baker, who's a world authority in corpus linguistics. I also use the corpus linguistics in my own research, and I combine it with some aspects of pragmatics. And I'm going to illustrate that now, how you can use corpus linguistics to answer questions which you might think it couldn't possibly answer. Now, corpus linguistics, in a nutshell, involves the use of computers to look for patterns in language, and patterns typically in very large corpora. These are like a data bank full of texts, loads of texts. You can see there's one example there is the Oxford English corpus, which is a collection of English texts amounting to 2 billion words. And so we need a computer, we need our data, and that's the corpus. And one of the key notions in corpus linguistics is the notion of a colloquy, which is when you have a relationship between one word and another word, they tend to co-occur frequently. So I'll give you an example. The word morning in English typically has a colloquy good, because people say good morning. And so there's a relationship between good and morning. And we can discover the meanings of words by looking at the words that they co-occur with, the associations between the words. And this is how we can begin to answer the question, can corpus linguistics reveal what kind of people are generally considered really rude? And to do that, we start with a question, who is rude? That's what we want to ask ourselves. And if we look at how that gets represented in language, we have statements like, children are rude, the driver is rude. Now, so we're looking at the word rude and how it's applied to different kinds of people. We want to find out what kinds of people is the word rude applied to. And this is partly a grammatical thing, because if you look at the bit at the bottom of the slide currently, we want to find that bit in the red box, who it is. And then what we need to look for, therefore, is some part of the verb to be, is or are, and then the word rude. So we look for the word rude when it has a particular grammatical relationship with the someone. We want to find that someone. So you can get a computer to do this. It's not just searching on the word rude, but searching on the word rude when it has a particular grammatical construction associated with it. Well, I did that in the Oxford English corpus, and these were the results. So the results for basically the things that would go into that slot with the red box are words like doorman, bouncer, bartender, waitress, waiter, New Yorker, staff, French. These were the statistically most significant ones that occur in that relationship. So these actually answer the question of what kind of people are generally considered rude. And as you can see, the kind of people who are considered rude tend to be people in the service industry, in restaurants, bars, pubs, etc. You know, waitress, waiter, bartender, doorman, all that stuff. And it's probably because in those contexts, people assume that the customers assume that they are entitled to certain things, and if the waiter doesn't deliver them properly, then they think that the waiter is rude, etc. There are a couple of interesting ones there. New Yorker is in the list, And that's because the Oxford English corpus is largely comprised of North American data. And in America, they often view anyone from New York as particularly rude. And that ties in with the little cartoon on the right. You have a car entering New York City, and then you have the rude statement, move it, jerk, coming along, illustrating the joke that the people from New York are often perceived to be rude. And finally, at the end of the list, you see the word French. And that's because, again, it's the stereotype that people believe that people in France are particularly rude. And it's a North American stereotype for those countries. But so we can answer the question of what kind of people are generally considered rude by using corpus linguistic methods.
Thank you, Jonathan. So let's move on to the next master's program, and the next master's program is called Masters in Discourse Studies. So this program develops your skills in discourse analysis, drawing on a range of methodological sources, and in this program you will learn to apply these skills for analyzing a range of spoken and written data. So for example, if you're interested in analyzing discourse of politicians, of how they convince people to vote for them, so you could take discourse, Masters in Discourse Studies with us. There are 5 core modules in this program because it's a very specialized program and you need to learn lots of core skills to analyze spoken and written data and do the discourse analysis. However, there is still space to take several optional modules, and there is a dissertation. And the last program that we offer is Masters in Intercultural Communication. This program draws on both linguistics and social theory. It will deepen your understanding of communication across cultures and will help you to develop expertise to implement yourself and to advise others on effective communication in multicultural settings. So this program has got 4 core modules and a series of optional modules. From next year, we will also be offering this program as intercultural business communication program. So there will be more content on business communication in it. So if you're interested in that, hold on for a year and apply later. So here is a link to our students talking about our programs. So please feel free to either go to our departmental webpage to listen to these videos or to scan this QR code and it will take you to these videos directly. We support our students on all our master's programs through the module that is called Postgraduate Academic Study Skills. This module is a non-assessed module and it allows you to just develop your skills and being successful in academia, particularly in a different country, in a different educational context. So we support you and equip you with the skills to make sure that you do well. So what type of support is available? So we give you support with the development of your academic reading, writing, and note-taking and referencing skills. We develop your critical thinking and reflective practice skills. We help you to plan, organize, and prepare your presentations and deliver your presentations. And we also give you help with understanding assignment briefs and with good time management. So additionally to your academic life in the department, we offer our students lots of other opportunities to engage with their life while being abroad and with the community of people that is who they're going to be engaging with. So one of the things that we offer is collaborative study space, which is a space for you to meet with your classmates and do your studies together in the department. So it's on the same floor, it's within the department, and you can meet with the students weekly in that time and work on your assignments or on your coursework, on your seminar readings, or on any other tasks related to your modules, or just get together to work together and feel, surrounded by your friends. We have research centers, as Jonathan has already mentioned. We also run Layel Postgraduate Conference, and we also have another conference, which is called STAR Conference, where master students are presenting their work to other master students. So there are lots of opportunities, not just to study and do well, but also to share your work and to learn from work of others. There are lots of opportunities to study abroad. Lancaster is a global university. So despite coming to England already means going abroad for you, but you still have got an opportunity yet to expand further your international sort of experience and studying, internationally. You could, for example, work on your dissertation from Germany in term 3, or you could participate in one of our summer schools, or you can take short international global experiences courses, some of which are offered online if you don't feel too brave to spend at least some more time, being abroad in addition to being in England. So here are some photographs of our students engaging with social events in the department. So we offer 3 sort of big events in the department for our students to socialize, which is Christmas celebration, which happens at the end of term 1. Then we have got Chinese New Year celebration, which happens early in term 2 when Chinese New Year is celebrated. And you can see our students making some origami, cooking Chinese dumplings, and just enjoying themselves, as well as our staff on these pictures. So, and this is a celebration of the Eid Mubarak festival in term 3. And finally, we offer our students a wonderful opportunity to experience our national park, which is called Lake District, which is very close to Lancaster. And we take our students, we members of academic staff and administrative staff take our masters and sometimes PhD students join us to go and enjoy the picturesque views of the Lake District. It's a wonderful opportunity to have a nice picture as well. So here is a list or a range of career options that students can pursue when they study master's programs with us, and we have sort of tried to group the career options by the types of knowledge and skills that master programs are equipping students with. But of course, as you can see, there is some overlap, but I have sort of tried to highlight to you some of the streams and directions that will help you to develop the skills, and which masters can help you to develop the skills. And here is a separate list for our new program, MSc in Forensic Linguistics and Speech Science. So as you see, prospects are really interesting job opportunities. So of course, doing masters with us does not guarantee you securing a job. It means but it allows you and equips you with the skills to demonstrate to your prospective employers that you may be the right person to employ. So when students come to us, support with careers and finding a job is offered on a lifelong sort of basis. So we will always be helping you if you needed space, if you needed support with employment, with careers. So university will always help its students. It's not like you leave us and that's it. You will forever sort of be Lancaster alumni, and we will look after you. So now, finally, our students, I think you probably had enough English speech. So now our students, Shonasuke and Saya, will tell you about their experiences of studying with us. And so over to you, guys.
Thank you very much, Oksana. So yeah, I will be speaking in Japanese, and it helps you better understand, I suppose. まず、ランカスター大学を選んだ理由なんですけど、自分は、Applied Linguistics and TESOL に、います。で、選んだ一つの大きな理由としては、自分はそのランカスター大学にいる先生方が、世界的にもこう有名で、分野を引っ張っている先生方がとても多いっていうことを一つ理由として、このランカスターを選びました。で、実際にこう授業を受けていても、普段論文で読んでるような先生方がポンポン出てきたり、本当に実在するんだみたいな感じで、授業を受けることができるので、すごい、それは非常に貴重な機会かなと思っています。で、一つ、ここに Your Favorite Module があるので、一つ、受けてよかったなっていう授業を挙げるとすれば、自分は第二言語習得論の授業が一番受けてよかったなと思っています。大学の学部で第二言語習得論を受けたんですけど、やっぱり言うて学部なので浅いところで理解が終わっちゃったりとか、授業内容もやっぱ限られてくるんですけど、こうがっつり第二言語習得論できたのがすごいランカスターに来てよかったなと思うきっかけになりました。で、結局この授業がきっかけで自分がこれから先やりたい研究の道筋っていうのも見えたので、 ランカスターに来て本当に良かったなと思ってます。で、フェイバリットスポットは、まあ多分自分は図書館かなと思います。ずっと図書館にこもっていろいろやっていたので、自分のお気に入りの座席とかもありますし、この場所じゃないとちょっと勉強したくないみたいなのあるので、とてもいい環境で勉強させてもらっているなと思います。はい。相馬さんいかがでしょうか。
はい、私もアプライドリングスティクスと TESOL に所属してるんですけれども、ランカスターにした理由としては、もともとそのコロケーションの研究に関心があって、で、コーパスの研究で非常にランカスターは有名なので、そのフィールドで有名な先生方がいらっしゃるっていうのと、コーパスの授業が受けれるっていうのが一つ目の理由でした。で、あと日本でも TESOL の修士をやってるんですけれども、そっちのTESOL の方でテスティングの授業がなかったので、ランカスターはそのイギリスで TESOL を提供している大学の中でも多分珍しくって、テスティングがそのコアモジュールとして入っている大学だったので、必ず受けられるだろうということでランカスターにしました。で、今テスティングって話したんですけど、もちろんコーパスの授業もすごい楽しかったんですけど、テスティングの授業が非常にプラクティカルで、アサイメントも含めてどういうふうにすでにあるテストを評価して、でそれをどういうふうにインプルーブして新しく自分がテストを作るのかっていうことに関して体系的に学べたので、その授業はすごい良かったなっていうふうに思ってます。で、フェイバリットスポットは島田さんと同じくライブラリーが一番好きです。はい。Oksana, could you move on to the next slide?島田さん、お返しします。
はい。How do you spend the rest of your time? 基本的にずっと何か勉強をしています。で、大学内からも本当に2ヶ月に1回とかしか今のところ出てない状態で、多分他の人はもうちょっと出ているとは思うんですけど、自分は基本的にもう大学の敷地内から出ることはないですね。はい。で、How do you spend your academic time? なので、ずっとリーディングをしている、状況です。で、なんか食べ物とかもオンラインで全部注文できたりするので、わざわざスーパーに行って買うっていうこともしなくて済むので、非常にありがたいですね。most interesting surprising です。一番印象に残っている経験は、やっぱり、一緒に勉強しているコースメイトが本当にいろんな国から来ていて、もちろん日本からも、相馬さんのような日本人の方もいれば、ベトナム、マレーシア、リビア、もちろんイングランドからも来てる人もいたり、中国、台湾、香港。で、本当にいろんな国から来ている人がいるので、その国の教育事情とか、英語教育の環境とか、いろんなことを学べるので、すごいここに来てよかったなと思っています。はい。
私もそうですね、同じくやっぱり授業がある期間はあんまりフリータイムがないので、基本的にもう部屋とレクチャーの部屋とライブラリーを行き来しているっていう感じでした。ただ土曜日にちょっと1日休暇取って、リバプールまで行ったりとかっていう感じでうまく休んだりとかはしてます。で、most surprising thing っていうことで、私がすごい驚いたのは、比較っていう感じにはなってしまうんですけど、その日本の大学にいた時と違って、すべてのアサインメントに対して、本当にものすごい細かいフィードバックをくれるっていうのが驚いたことでした。で、あとはその各授業にフォーラムっていうのがあって、そこで質問をして、その授業の先生とインタラクションができるんですけど、そこで本当たった5行ぐらいのシンプルな質問に対して、もうレポートレベルの長さで質問に答えてくれるっていうような感じで、本当に先生方が熱心で、すべてのレクチャーのハンドアウトもそうですし、その授業準備もそうですし、もうすべて凝っていて、そのクオリティの高さと生徒に対する熱心さっていうのには驚いてますし、ランカスターのこの TESOL に来るべき 理由かなっていうふうには個人的には思ってます。はい。
Okay, I think that's the end of your sharing of your experiences. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with our prospective students or future students. So if you really liked what you have heard so far about our department, about our university, and about our students' experiences of studying with us, here is how you can join us. You can email me and tell me which program you would like to apply for, and I'll send you a link to apply for it. Or you can apply yourself by going to our departmental webpage, www.lancaster.ac.uk/linguistics. You choose the program on campus because it is a residential program that you will be choosing for studying with us. However, you can learn more about distance learning programs if you want. Just visit our departmental page. You choose the program that you like, and there is a big red button saying apply. You click on it, and it takes you to the application portal. Or you can apply through the main Lancaster University webpage, which is www.lancaster.ac.uk, and then you follow these paths of study at Lancaster. You choose postgraduate level, postgraduate courses, and then there will be a box where you fill in the title of the programs that you are interested in, or you select it from the list, and then same sort of process applies. There will be an apply button, and you can choose how to apply. So what are the entry requirements? So in terms of academic entry requirements, we would like you to achieve at least 2-1 bachelor's honors degree or its equivalent. So you can find more about the specific requirements for your country on this following this link. I understand that you can't click on this link, it's not interactive for you, but when you go to the application portal, there will be space where this link will be also given, and you can click on it to see what the specific requirements for Japan are. In terms of your English language requirements, we would expect you to have at least 6.5 in IELTS academic test, so with at least 6.5 in reading and writing, and at least 6 in listening and speaking. We also accept other tests like TOEFL IBT or Pearson PTE academic, so please feel free to submit them as well if you have taken them. If you miss out on the academic level requirement by half a score, then we can still offer you, give you a conditional offer on you taking English for academic purposes course with us, which is a 4 weeks program. So it will run just before your master's program starts, and on successful completion, you will be enrolled on your master's program. If you miss on your IELTS score by one one entire point. So if you need 6.5 and you got 5.5, then you can still have a conditional offer with us for a pre-sessional course, which lasts 10 weeks. And that will prepare you and help you to improve your English language skills, to make them adequate for you to do well on our programs. We also offer a program that is called a pre-master's program. So in case you really want to come to study with us, but let's say your bachelor's degree is a little bit below what we require, or your IELTS is more than 1 point below what we require, then you could come to us for the entire year, do a pre-master's program on campus. So you will be on the same location as other students who are actually studying masters with us, and on successful completion of pre-master's program, you can then enroll onto our master's program. So we have got more space, we have got more information for international students on our departmental webpage. We specifically developed it so that you could read and learn more about your specific sort of requirements in terms of scholarships, for example, how to apply. And here is also the blue box for pre-master's program that I've just explained to you. So here is more information that is useful. But if you have questions, you can always email me and ask later. So if you have any questions right now, please feel free to ask them either in English or Japanese, or to type them in the chat box. If you happen to have the questions later, please feel free to email me on the email address that is shown on this slide. Thank you.
Thank you very much for interesting presentation, sharing the nice stories. I will ask if any student have questions in Japanese. 皆様、本日ですね、もしご質問されたい内容等があれば、今ご質問いただけますが、チャットの方でですね、ありがとうございます。 島田様ですね。ありがとうございます。メール、メールアドレスこちらで、はい、送っていただけるということで、ご参加いただいている方の中でもしご不明な点とか質問したい内容があれば、お気軽にぜひですね、ご質問いただければと思います。So we have a question from Shaw, and he is asking about scholarship. Do you have any scholarships?
Yes, well, there are different scholarships that are available for international students, and the best place to learn about scholarships and the requirements, the criteria for them is to go onto our departmental webpage and to choose the program, and then there is information about scholarships available there. One of the scholarships that Lancaster University does offer to the students is the scholarship for students with outstanding performance internationally. So if the student has got a bachelor's degree with distinction, then there is a scholarship. I think there is I don't remember exactly, but I think it's like a 10% discount, or there is some sort of scholarship that is automatically, they're considered automatically for this scholarship without even needing to apply for it. So just applying for a program with us, students are automatically considered for their outstanding sort of performance, international performance scholarship. If you're Lancaster alumni, if you happen to have done a bachelor's degree with us, probably you haven't, then there is a scholarship as well for our alumni students. But there are some other options as well. Please check the website.
Thank you.
Maybe I can type.
Yes, please. That would be very helpful.
Maybe I can type the link. Hold on, I'm not very good at getting out of Zoom. Maybe one of our students could type the link because my screen doesn't allow me to exit the space. So if somebody could help, that would be great.
長様、大丈夫そうですかね。他の方ももしご質問あればですね、ミュートを外していただいて、口頭でご質問いただくのでも大丈夫です。
Actually, I got a direct message from one of the audience. Is it okay if I say it out loud?
Yes.
Okay. So apparently, she wants to know what she needs to enter the college. By the way, she lives in Italy, France, and America. She has a she's about to she's going to graduate. She has a graduation certificate from Italy, France, America, apparently.
Yes. Okay. So the student would need to check. So the student would need to go to the choose the program for which they want to apply. Click the apply button, and then there will be a requirement for the academic qualification. So it will say if you've got a degree, bachelor's degree from Italy, from such and such university, you would need to achieve 80% or whatever it is, or 3.5 out of 4. So there is different requirements for different countries. So depending on which certificate or diploma the student will be showing to us as part of their application, the requirement will be specific for that qualification. But even if they're not sure, they can still apply, and we will work out, and we will come back to them to say whether we can give them an offer, whether it's going to be conditional or unconditional, and so on, whether they meet the academic requirements. Or they can email us or email the admissions team and ask, to save the time applying. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
It's okay. Also, it's okay if the student is still studying. So if the student is still completing their course, they can still apply with their provisional sort of grades because these are available. So the institution can issue a provisional transcript with the grades, and then we are able to give a conditional offer on a student achieving specific grades. And if by the time the master's program starts here in October, they get their certificate and they meet the entry requirement in terms of, various things, academic requirement or English language requirement, then their offer becomes unconditional and they can study with us. So you don't need to wait to get your bachelor's degree formally.
Thank you, Oksana. And we actually have an additional question from Hayato. And Shonosuke has already replied to his question, but 日本語で失礼します。隼人様からですね、TESOLと聞いて、島田さんとさやねさんは英語教員としてのキャリアを積んでからアプライされましたかという質問をいただいてるんですが、こちらも口頭でご回答いただいてもいいですか？
はい、自分は学部卒業後に、教員を、私立の中高一貫校で2年間した後に、こっちに来ています。で、もともとは学部卒業してから、そのままこちらに来る予定だったんですけど、いろいろあって、できず2年間教員をするっていうことになってます。で、教員経験が生きるかどうかっていうことについては、教員をしてなくても、してなかったからこそ見える、こう、なんていうんですか、アプローチの仕方とか、教員をしてたからこそ見える、自分の研究に対する、アプローチの仕方っていう、いろいろあると思うので、個人的には、教員経験があるなしっていうのはあんまり関係ないかなとは思ってます。
私は教員経験はなくて、日本の TESOL の修士を休学してこっちに来たっていう形になります。ただ、コースメイトには島田さんのように、教員経験を数年されてから来てるっていう人も結構いるので、そういう意味では面白いかなというふうに思います。
島田さん、相馬さん、ありがとうございます。他の方からご質問がなければ、本日のセミナー終了となりますが、他にご質問ある方いらっしゃいませんでしょうか？I think silence means everyone understand. Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation today. And I think the students understand more about Lancaster now. So this is the end of the seminar, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you.
very much, everybody. We wish you best of luck with your applications and your studies abroad. Bye bye.
皆さんありがとうございました。